Hi, I'm Nate from Blackline Audio. I'm here at AMS to talk about the Micro Clock MkIII. This is a master word clock that we put a lot of effort into designing to be as low jitter as we could possibly get it. We've measured about 1.9 picoseconds of jitter at the BNC word clock outputs. On the faceplate, pretty simple, you have the power button on the left. There's a dim switch for anyone that wants a more dim display. This is a frequency readout display. And then here is a frequency selector knob. And we actually designed that to lock in case someone is in a live sound situation or a studio setting in which this might be exposed and it gets bumped and ruins someone's session. So the way you unlock the frequency is you just do 3 consecutive clicks and it'll unlock, and then you can see which frequency you want to select, and then you let it settle and the little decimal place will blink when that frequency is locked. On the back, we have 6 BNC outputs, and those are the lowest jitter outputs. That's where we get our jitter spec from. And then we also have an RCA SPDIF output, an optical SPDIF output, and an AES output. And one thing we discovered through designing this product is that a dedicated word clock BNC line is actually the lowest jitter line for a clock signal. Whereas on, let's say, like the AES output, for example, it might be 50 times the jitter as the dedicated BNC outputs. So that was something that was interesting for us to discover when we were designing this. So the way an external clock can benefit the audio quality of the receiving device is that as long as the external clock is a higher quality clock signal than the internal clock on the receiving device, and as long as the receiving device has what's called a phase lock loop that allows that external clock signal to really impact the internal clock, it can actually really improve the sound quality. And what that translates as is jitter is phase noise, and oftentimes it translates as cancellations in the high end. So when you're listening to, let's just say, a recording interface, and you're using the internal clock that's higher jitter, and then you switch to a lower jitter external clock, you might also hear more top end, you might hear like a wider stereo image, a deeper stereo image, you might hear reverb tails more. And we've also heard back from our customers that once the top end opens up like that, it feels like the bass actually has more room to breathe as well. So it almost has the effect of improving the low end as well, which is mostly just related to the impact it has on the top end. One thing we discovered as well when testing the micro clock with various interfaces over the years is that certain companies actually sandbox the external clock signal. So what that means is they have a brick wall filter at that BNC input, which basically makes it so that you can't make a positive impact on the sound quality of that interface. Whereas other interfaces really respond well to external clock, and then again is all based on the filter settings of the PLL and the person who designed it and what their intentions were. And so we've found over the years that certain recording setups will sound much better when clocked with a lower jitter clock, such as Micro Clock MkIII, whereas others don't. And so, you know, this is a very hotly debated issue in our industry, and the answer is that external clocks can improve the sound quality depending on what you're reclocking. And we've actually created a list over the years of the interfaces we know for a fact can be improved with an external clock. So check out the Micro Clock MkIII and other Blackline audio products at americanmusical.com.